I cannot see you. Can you see me? When I close my eyes, I can see you. I tune in and I see relative insight. It's far less specific than you might expect, and yet I see what many people do not in this way. Yesterday, I lost my patience in a way that I'm unhappy about. And I talked with my son about it, and he said, "Daddy, I think it's because of your vision." And I paused and thought about it, and it did feel true. He was swinging some things around in a way that, ultimately was not that dangerous. But because my vision's poor, it's harder for me to gauge whether I'm going to get hit. And it leaves me with an anxiousness that's kind of an ever present part of my experience. And it was helpful to gain that perspective, knowing myself a little better in that moment. What do you not see about yourself? This is the question I'm going to put to you. What do you not see about yourself? I want you to begin to answer it. If you don't know where to begin, I'm going to encourage you to do something for your third eye. Open your eyebrows, let them go. Open your eyebrows, pull them towards your ears. Exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, pull your eyebrows towards your ears, and you feel above the bridge of your nose. And you keep doing this in rhythm with a deeper breath. And as it gets deeper, allow yourself to entrain. This is one of the most incredible lessons I could give you. It's in the heart of the name, wildflower fire. What we're doing is we're finding a spark of a feeling that's in tune with your chakra. And as you spark a little fire, it becomes easier to focus on this chakra. As it becomes easier, you can stay there and you accentuate the power of the energy center. You bring the energy more into center. You're doing it. It's this beautiful dynamic between doing an exercise enough to spark clarity and focus. As you do, your focus accentuates. And as it accentuates, the chakra becomes more powerful. Be present with this. Be present with this. Today, we are going to go on a little bit of a ride. We're going to go deeper into who you are. You don't need to see anything for this to work. I want you to close your eyes frequently and do the exercises with me. Now we're going to try again. We're going to do it for not that long. This is an exercise to help you clear and focus your mind. You can, and I encourage you to use it frequently. When it works best, it's used in specific circumstances. So it's not like I should remember to do that today. You learn to make the connection. I'm not thinking clearly, or I would like to think more clearly. And bring that deeper into yourself by doing the third eye breathing. So ground yourself, center yourself, and begin to tune into your breath. So that this means for about 3 breaths, you're just watching. You do not change a thing yet. It's respect. You are respecting your body. You're respecting your lungs. Give them respect. They're working all day long, almost entirely without your help. So when you participate, you're stepping in on a job that's getting done. Honor, honor this part of yourself. And then bring focus above the bridge of your nose, between your eyebrows, slightly above, just a little. And then you're going to begin inhaling and stretching the skin there. Exhale, let it go. And the rhythm of your breathing determines when you stretch and when you release. It's important. Let the rhythm of your breathing be in charge. When you are focused on your third eye in this way, you think more clearly. It's a very simple tool at first. You're disregarding any thoughts or feelings that exist out of harmony with this exercise. So if you think about it and it's harder, whatever it is, if you think about anything and it's harder to focus on your third eye, that means the thought you just had is not in tune with your third eye. Oh, take that. That's big. That is a huge insight. The more you make discernments based on the awareness of where a thought is, where is it, the more effectively you will think. Now you've created a little clarity in your third eye. If you can feel it reasonably well, don't keep doing the exercise. And if you already stopped, did you stop consciously or did you just drift off? Just be aware. Once you can easily maintain focus because you've generated a little fire in a chakra, you don't need to keep doing the exercise. In between, there's a lot of partial. You're just gently activating the area with a physical motion and breath. And you can explore what's the least effort it takes to maintain your focus. As you do, you begin to become far more capable of using this as a normal part of your life. Water is life. Welcome. I would like to pretend I know why the video is not working, but I don't. Can you talk to me? No one's made a comment yet, so just let me know. I presume you're not getting any video because I'm not. But also, can you make comments? Because I don't see any. So I'm wondering whether this live feed is weird in a way I don't understand. Aha. No, that didn't do it. Well, I can't tell you I know how to bring the camera in. So I'm just going to try a little tiny bit and then we're going to move on because I don't know, maybe we don't need the camera. We shall see. And I can't see anyone talking either. So, all right. I'm going to let it go. Today, most appropriately, we are talking about shadow work. As we dive into this, I invite you to recognize that the reason you do this work is to liberate yourself. Yes, it's possible to get trapped in dynamics like this. Don't. Yes, it's possible to make things worse. It is. It's possible based on a very simple dynamic that I'd like you to really take to heart. It's the same focus that we already explored. When we work with a chakra, we are intentionally activating sensation in the chakra point, which means on the surface of the body. This is built into the human design. This is the best place you can focus feeling in order to influence the chakra. It is not direct. You are not allowed to start and stop your heart. You're not allowed because it's too crucial that it work well. Same thing with chakras. You're not allowed to have complete control over the chakra because it needs to do its job. But you can have an indirect control. It's somewhere in between the way we influence our lungs and the way we influence our heart. It's an indirect control that gives us the ability to bring the chakra into a much deeper state of coherence and empowerment. And when you do this, you're working with the active phenomena of attention and focus, amplifying sensation. Now, this same dynamic can go wrong. When we scream in a large cavern, there are echoes. If you take the echo and repeat it, you will amplify that same sound and it'll keep going. If you keep repeating what you hear in the echo, it will never stop. This is obviously foolish. It would be clear to you that if you stayed quiet for a while, those echoes will die down. But karmically, it's not as obvious. Karmically, we will be exposed to the momentum of our past. And if we entrain with it, if we get ourselves wrapped up into it, we will not be able to escape it. We will simply use our current power to reinforce the old pattern, bring it back to life. Now, again, much like with an echo in a cavern, you wouldn't do that on purpose, right? But when you don't recognize that's what you're doing, it happens quite a lot. See, worry is like praying for what you don't want. When you worry about something, you entrain with a negative possibility. And it is very much like hearing an echo and amplifying the echo. The only reason this dynamic is possible is because people don't understand our own power. Your focus is active. You are actively fueling reality. So why would we go into this? Why would we do shadow work? Because when you approach it correctly, you will actively dissolve what used to be. This is not just sound. This is a living force. Karma is the living momentum of your past. And when you step into it and wrestle with it in the right way, you will calm it down. But it's a very dicey game because if you confront it as an equal, you will lose. As soon as you treat your past momentum as a living life force equivalent to who you are now, you'll become that. You'll become it. And so you've been hurt and there's a woundedness inside you, and you confront that woundedness, and the woundedness lashes out at you just as you try to give it a hug. And when it lashes out at you, you feel it. This is what it is to wrestle with your shadow. You go deeper into the experience of feeling and being in that space, in that state that you have been in. And if you approach it like you are confronting something that's your equal, it will be more powerful. A shadow is not an equal. A shadow is the absence of light. It is the absence of light in a space that has been blocked from the light. And it has been blocked because parts of you are not receiving light. This is the density of karmic patterns that are out of tune with the light of the world. And make no mistake, the world has light. There is a deep form of light that is not for our eyes in the physical body. But the eyes of the heart do see by this light. The one eye of the heart that you have sees this light. And when grief and pain and the terror that grows out of these repressed feelings remains stuck inside your body, light can't get through you. So now we shift to the heart. Heart breathing is, in a way, simpler. You shift to the heart first by grounding yourself. You find a good seat or you stand. Then you bring your attention towards the breath without changing it. This is respect for your heart. This is respect for your lungs. They're doing their job already. When you put focus on the heart chakra, it's already working to bring love into your life. It wants your help. Your conscious attention can make this process work better. But don't just step in and take over. Shift. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhythm of the breath that your body wants to breathe in tune with your spirit. And as you deepen, you start to recognize, what can you think and feel while your focus stays here? Now, I don't want you to be unhappy about this process pretty much at all. If you have a hard time focusing on your heart, you know something. Whatever you're focusing on is not in tune with your heart. That really matters. Truth does not come without heart. The truth of love in this world does not come without heart. Done. So you could describe the intricacies of mathematical formula. You can teach me how to build a cathedral with all the engineering and physics that are required. But if there's not love in it, I don't really care. If you can't feel your heart, you know something crucial. Whatever you're focused on is not heart. Boom, I downgrade its priority. I don't really care that much. I don't really care that much. It's not in tune with my heart. Doesn't mean that it's irrelevant. It means it shouldn't be in charge. I got in touch with someone last week. I've appreciated this person for a while, but there's always been something in the way. And when I got in touch with them spiritually, they offered to show me the edge of the world. I go with things a lot. This is how I learn. I allow myself to be led under certain circumstances. That's how you learn from other people what they are. But this wasn't in tune with my heart. So it went a little haywire. It took me a bit to say, wait a second, where's the love? Sometimes it can be hard to remember to value these dynamics. Sometimes it can be hard to remember to return to your heart. But as soon as you do, it cuts like a scythe through whatever's occurring. If something isn't in tune with your heart, you immediately let go. It won't be sustainable. At best, it'll be numb and not particularly effective. You will occasionally unleash energy that's stored in various reservoirs of spirit. That is a very painful way to live. It's an addiction of sorts. I'm not going to describe it more than that, so if it doesn't make sense, let it go. If something isn't in tune with your heart, you will be addicted to an incoherent and unhealthy pattern that will keep leading you towards reservoirs of spirit that unleash, you remember with intensity, and then you move on. When something's in tune with heart, you don't live with this kind of fear or desire because you know that you're tapped into source right here. When you know how to reconnect with your heart and you have some sense of how to draw life force into your heart, make it stronger, needs change. Abraham does a wonderful job of explaining. As you tune in to the positive feelings that you associate with your dreams, you realize you don't really want the things that you're praying for. You want the feeling you believe you'll get when you get those things. And the irony is, the best way to get those things is to tune into the feeling before you get them. This all begins with heart. This all begins with heart. Now, I can feel my heart quite clearly now. So as I talk, I pause, I sense a rhythm. And whenever the focus dampens, I just take an extra long breath. I don't have to struggle once I bring it enough into my awareness. The heart ultimately is the easiest chakra to do this with. Now, every chakra can do this, and every chakra can activate to a level that is, it will focus your attention more than anything else in your experience. And this is good. This is how you can best help each center do their job. But let's put them down for a moment and look into how you work. First of all, I'm assuming that I've done something or something has happened because I don't see any comments. Huh. Live commentary mode on. What on earth was that? I set something bizarre. Aha! Now can you comment? Let me know if you can. I've got some beautiful fire going by the side. Hearts! Yay! I see hearts. Chat as an approved user. What did I do? I'm so sorry. Well, this is a funny day, and I like going with it, people. Here's the theme of the day that we will go with and stay with. You are something that is greater than anything that you could put in your mind. You are more than you know as you. This has many ramifications. First of all, you're more than your name. You're more than your body. You're more than your age. You're more than this birth. You're more than the multiple lifetimes you've lived on this planet as human. You're more than the extended and even greater range of lifetimes you've lived as other animals and creatures on this planet. You are the soul that came to earth to be born as spirit into body. That is not a small thing. That is an extraordinary range of insight into who you are. When you rest with it, you become something more. Now you make it practical. You have an idea of yourself that is not really very accurate. There are extended aspects of you that are present as part of you that you don't know of as you. When you accept this, just this, something starts to change. And imagine it like this. You are 100 strands of light. Now it's a little more complicated than that. The numbers don't matter. You are 100% of the light that you generate that runs through your body. And there is a truth to the light that is generated within you that's yours, and energy, spirit, that comes to you from others. And then there's a further truth of the light that is brought to life because you made a deal with somebody else. But it's not intrinsic to who you are. It's not coming from the core of you. It's something that you grow on your farm, so to speak. When you just trust this, something very special happens. Here's how it works. You don't have to know. You don't have to know. What you have to do is remember that when you're in doubt, you say, return to my core, the caduceus, the channel of energy from your root to your crown with spirals up it and wings at the top. This is you. This is more you than your body. The energy that is born in this channel is yours. Energy that comes to you from the outside or energy that you grow on top of this channel is not intrinsic. You don't have to know how to tell the difference. You have to remember to assert it. And that means when you're confused, you say, I am me, return to my core, return to my core. It's beautiful because what you get to do, it's like a superpower that you learn to embody is you basically shed everything that's not you. And then you do it again and you do it again every day, every day. The reason this matters so much is because you're going to wake up more and more to recognize that you think of yourself as someone who it's really not you. It's really not you. You are being projected upon, and you have learned to accept this as part of your identity. Why have you done this? Because you haven't known any better. Because you made a deal with someone who had a strong personality and it was easier to simply adjust with their attitude. Because you made a deal with somebody who offered you calm, solace, a way to get away from your own pain, anything to get away from what you wanted to avoid within yourself. The way out of these deals is to learn how to pray from your root to your crown. And when you do this, you begin with the assumption that you are 100 strands of light. And on these strands of light, you have programmed in different parts of yourself. Some of it you get to change every day. Some of it is this stuff we do with law of attraction. It says focus on what you believe in and bring it to life. Some of your strands of light are free and available to turn into whatever you want every single day. And some of them carry the baggage of this life. Some of them carry the unmet dreams, the wounds that you have moved past and forged onwards from. And some of them carry karma from your past, from even before this lifetime. You don't have to know the difference yet. You have to see it this way to begin. And as you begin, something very special happens. Your focus will begin to reveal to you where your attention can have the greatest impact. You are going into the darkness, people. I'm going with the way Spirit shaped this up. You are going into the darkness. And you're finding out who you really are. This is a timeless journey, but it's impossible to overstate how important it is. There are stories from thousands of years of people learning to face their shadow in this way. And we can help each other. People are so similar in the ways we suffer. Everybody's alone. Everybody's isolated. Everyone's afraid of exposure. There's such a common fear of the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment of being seen. And it's so lonely. Year after year, hiding what you are, hiding truths for fear of what will be witnessed, how you will be perceived. And it's a mad lib. It's a fill in the blank. It doesn't matter what you're afraid of. So many people fear the same thing. So we're going into the darkness with each other. We're saying, hey, guess what? If you know how to honor other people's boundaries, you don't have anything to fear. If you know how to honor other people's boundaries, there's nothing to fear. And if you don't, you're probably not here. Consent is a very simple concept. As long as you honor that other people can only share with you in full consent, you get to be you. You get to be you. Because the ultimate sharing here is, hey, guess what? Does it really make sense for everyone to be locked in cages by themselves in the darkness, not able to trust each other? Does this really make sense? Because see, here's the thing. The dark is just shade. That's how it started. Before you came to Earth, there's this magical thing. The cycle of night and day. You get a rest in the shade, you sleep. You wake up and the warmth returns. You get a rest in the shade, you sleep, you wake up, the warmth returns. This is very special to cosmic beings that otherwise you have to go far away from the sun to cool down. That takes time. And if you do it quickly, then you're not invested and you're not present. And for those, let those who have ears hear, if you understand. To incarnate on a planet is to give yourself the chance to rest in a very unusual and special way. And the rest happens in the cycle of light and dark. The problem comes when you fail to learn the skills to be present in the darkness. And these skills begin with feeling, and they are crucial for getting in touch with your chakras. Let's presume that the most important thing happening here is chakra activation itself. It's not about death. It's not about sex. It's not about anything else. It's about chakra work. In chakra work, you may notice we don't refer to gender very much. That's because we are focusing on elements that are not unique to genders. We share them. We all share them. And there's a powerful beauty in this. Now, are there differences associated with your gender? Certainly. They are not crucial to the dynamics of the chakras. So we focus on the elements that are similar, that are in harmony. And the metaphor is a tree, which is not bilateral. It's not left and right. We are focusing on the elements of our spirit that all human beings have in common. And as we do, I invite you into this incredible realization. As you learn to feel, you learn to activate the spark of a wild little fire in any part of your energy field. You learn to focus on one chakra and bring this spark to life relatively at will. You entrain. When your feeling is active enough around a chakra, you activate your ability to work with that chakra to greatly enhance what it can do. So now let's look at the navel. Your navel is a well of power. This is where, as you get more powerful, you can store it. Now, I don't want to oversimplify here, but it's a little like a battery. I prefer the Chinese Qigong metaphor. It's the well of qi. This is where energy not only gets stored, but it transitions into the body in a very real way. It's not quite this simple, but it's a good place to begin understanding. Your navel is where power is embraced into your body. Just like with your digestion. Be present with this. And ground yourself. Now, this is the same process. This is the simple version of every chakra activation. You're going to take at least 3 breaths without changing a thing. You're just focusing on feeling at the navel and following your breath without changing it. This gives you the rhythm. You want to find the rhythm before you change the rhythm. You find the rhythm that your breath wants that enables feeling in the chakra you're going to work on. And this tool is enough to bring your chakras to life once you get good at this. You don't need more specific exercises after you get good at this. But as you're learning, we use breath of fire. Now, breath of fire means an exhale, quick and strong through the nose. And it's strong enough that the inhale will happen on its own. So you're not influencing the inhale, you're only influencing the exhale. And there's a rhythm to this that it takes a while to catch it. Sometimes people can kind of falter, it feels awkward. But once you get it, it's very powerful. So listen and start at your own pace and just stop and breathe with your navel if you lose it. Exhale. Let's do it like that. Exhale, and then feel the inhale happen. Take a pause, take a long breath, then try it again. Now keep going if you need to. That's enough for me. I took it to a very definite depth below what I was already feeling. So I have a stronger sensation. Now I've got that sensation. Now I'm staying focused on it with my mind's eye. I'm feeling in my navel while I talk to you, and I'm only going to talk while I feel in my navel. If my navel feeling says something other than what I'm saying out loud, I'm going to be quiet and retune in. Thoughts that you can express while you feel the navel are going to teach you how to be more powerful. This is where a lot of shadow lives, people. This is why we're going at it now. This is where a lot of shadow lives, because this is where your power is, it's just naked. Where are you going? What do you believe in? How do you know yourself? What do you understand about yourself? You start to dive into this process, whew, shows you fast. Now, look, this is what we're going for. You want to find your insecurities. And no, this is not just your normal engagement of insecurity. This is not the common way you have thought about yourself in a negative form. You're looking beneath that into the power structure of your insecurities. And you want to do this because this is where your power is. This is not something that is painful until it's over and then you feel better. I mean, there's an element of that, but it's not the focus. This is exciting from the get-go. This is an archaeological spelunking, dive into a dark cave to find treasure. And the cool thing about this treasure is it's already yours. This is your power. You're just going to reclaim your power. That's why you got to go into the darkness. It's been lost in a way you don't fully understand. If you fully understood it, it wouldn't be lost. You are likely telling yourself a story full of blame. You failed to do this. You failed to do this. You failed to do this. You think you know what you should be doing and you're not doing it. And you're full of shit. Literally. You're wrong. If you had a clear understanding of what was not working in your life, you would know how to act and you would be able to. That might sound like an incredible statement. Yes, you should be doing more exercise. Yes, you should be doing more consistent flower routines. But that is the expression of getting into the depth of the truth of your power. You got to get into the depth of the truth of your power to fully realign it. And what you'll find is there are very real reasons you're afraid of taking on more strength. Some part of you knows yourself at its worst. Some part of you knows yourself as capable of terrible things. Some part of you knows that if you bring yourself to life, that shadow gets brought to life too. Imagine you at your worst. Imagine you at your worst. Think of one of the worst things you've ever done. Are you afraid that you would do this again? You have likely settled for becoming someone who can tell yourself no. It is likely that you have settled. It's settling. It means you're it's not what you should go for. I think I don't like the term because it's nice to settle down, right? You have likely compromised your truth. Be honest. Have you compromised your truth? Now, I'm telling you that if you wrestle with shadows in yourself, so periodically you have a terrible thought and all you do is weather it. You say no, you don't do it. This is not good enough. This is not integration. It is a first step. It is a crucial step. If you have the instinct to hit someone, if you have the instinct to do opiates, if you have the instinct to drive drunk, if you have the instinct to not do your dishes for a month, and you just overcome it, like you prevent yourself, you force yourself not to drink, you make yourself do the dishes. I know it's a funny combination, and I hope it will be. It's not enough. You want to integrate the part of you that doesn't give a shit. You want to integrate the part of you that's self-destructive. To integrate that part, you first need to be stronger than it. You first need to hold it down. But the next level is to get deeper into why. I am telling you that no one naturally wants to hurt themselves. That is not coming from your core. If the sickness has gotten deeper towards your core to the point where it feels like it's stuck deep within you and you even have infections in your body, that means you have to go in there and pull it out. But it is not of your essence to want to hurt yourself. It is not of your essence to want to hurt the people around you. It is not of your essence to just allow your environment to go to wreck. If you are not caring for yourself or the space around you or the relationships that are close to you, there are reasons that you can get into. And to do so, you got to go into this darkness. You got to go into this darkness. And you find that there is a different kind of light. Now, I'm telling you that people avoid doing this for the wrong reason, but it started with the right reason. When we were earlier in this live cast, we referred to the fact that when you get your attention into negative things, you can accidentally amplify them. The reason human beings are currently living, many human beings in Western-ish culture, are living in a way of being that denies so much is because we don't know how to handle it. When you pay just a little bit of attention to the Indians, and I really encourage you to, just not all the time, just in waves, they talk English. There are a lot of English language Indian YouTube channels. So you can go listen. And if you do it for a while, they think in very different ways. They have, as Sadhguru, bless his heart and may he heal well, he's in the hospital. As he says, they love their cosmic chaos. They love their cosmic chaos. They have a much broader awareness of how reality works, and they know how to be at peace with that. We don't know how, and it's partly because we're sort of cheating. When I say ghosts don't exist, I pay less attention to ghosts. When I pay less attention to them, they're less powerful. Get it? This is what we've done as a culture. We've decided to deny the presence of elementals, of nature spirits, because many of them aren't nice. There are all sorts of creature-like territorial wounded beings that live on the spiritual planes. And we fear them in the darkness. And I'm telling you the spoiler. Spoiler. It's like weeding. You get so good at confronting such forces that you just do it, you pull it out, it's gone. That's what you need to aim for. If you aim for something dramatic out of a movie, you will bring that power to life. Meaning, if you think of The Exorcist or some kind of demon hunter analogy, what you're going to do is you're going to set the tone that makes that story more real. And you will be feeding spirits your power. It's not good. It's a very bad way. And it's why many icky beings want to get your attention in the darkness. Because if they can get you to fear them, you feed them. As soon as you see them as something deep and dark and threatening, they can become that. Now, by nature, that's not really what they are. They aren't actually that powerful. But if they trick you into thinking that they are, then they will be more powerful. These are the tools you need to be conscious of how to change things. And you need this when you go into the darkness. You want to know why? The icky, awful truth is that when you look into the darkness of yourself, that you are 100 strands of light and 50 of them are sick. 50 of them are getting bled. They're shriveled and they're being sucked on by a disembodied force that you don't like. You don't want to believe this. It's more pleasant not to think this is true. But it's naive in a way that's unacceptable because these are the same forces that give you Parkinson's. These are the same forces that give you cancer. And our naivete comes at a high cost because you can't really believe all these forces out of existence. You can't. You can diminish their power in the same way I just said. You prevent yourself from being terrified on a regular basis of these forces, and they will never be that strong. But over the course of years, you lose too much. And over the course of decades, your body gets sick. So you must be good at looking into this. And this is the threshold that many don't cross. Let me articulate the sequence to you. You are 100 strands of light. There is a dance of resonance between you and other beings. You create reality, relationships, feelings, experiences. You carry karma, patterns of momentum from other lifetimes, some of which you share with people you meet in this life, and some of which you need to work out with people who have similar karma. You may never have known them before, but they're there attracted to you so that you can both heal karmic forces. This is where the story ends for many people. Things go wrong in these engagements, either a fresh dance of light, you try to bring something to life with someone who is drawn to you, they have similar ideals, ideas, desires, but it doesn't work. You get stuck, and those forces are programmed into you. And you're hurt there, so you turn them down, you struggle with them, and you spend the rest of your life deteriorating. I want this to sound depressing. This is how many people live. I would say far too many people live. The threshold that many don't cross is to go into this darkness. And you look at it with the eye of your heart. And when you look honestly at your strands of light, you discover this miraculous truth. You can change it. You can change it. The karmic forces from the past, you can heal them. The wounds and lost dreams from this life, you can heal them even more easily in many ways. Wounds and lost dreams from this life often get turned down. You move through a relationship, you hit peaks, measurable emotional peaks during relationships in your past. But then it turns into pain, it turns into loss, it turns into a sense of betrayal, and some part of you says, no. You are saying no to the positivity too. Baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. But it doesn't really leave still alive on your strands. It's still alive in you. And to go back in there and to feel it liberates it. Those strands cleanse much more easily than you'd think when you bring a full resolve to being present in the emotions you never felt. When you allow yourself to feel the pain of betrayal without making decisions. So you don't get into the depth of the pain and say, I'll never love again. No. You just feel it. Basically hurts. But you keep going. This cleanses those strands of light, and you could do it 30 years after you've been in pain. Karmic forces from the past, from past lifetimes. This is a different kind of wrestling match. When they come up, you do need to change them. And it does need to be some form of a wrestling match within yourself and with other people who mirror those karmas or share them. But the beauty of this is you attracted those people into your life already. It's likely you are living with people who both of you carry karma that you don't want. And so you're basically all the time pushing into them with some of your strands of light, and they're pushing into you. And the deal is you're trying to not live those light strands out. Well, you need to bring consciousness into that dynamic. It's happening, but it's very inefficient. When you bring consciousness into it, what you're doing is you're saying, I know myself as the person who has the potential to want something that you're not accepting. You're already there. You're not going to kill people. You're not going to defraud them. You're not going to run after vengeance. But to know yourself as the being that is driven in that way, and to sit in that feeling and then be bigger than it. Sometimes you have to raise your eyes towards the horizon. Sometimes you have to go on a walk and keep your eyes up. You have to see the bigness, the grand scale of who you can become. This is not a time for what you might have called humility. You must embody something that is spiritual physics. You must be a transcendently divine being to put your karma into context. And when you do, the power of the force of the karma diminishes right away. And from this sense of greatness, you say, come on, what is it, world? What you got for me? Show me the challenge that you want me to live into. Show me and help me to stay with it. Show me and help me to transcend the doubt. Show me how to stay with the depth of the belief that you see in me. And help me to honor the fact that you see me this way first. Gayana, 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 Gaia, Gayana, 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 Gaia. Throat chakra, people. Breathe in your throat. You're taking a couple breaths to tune in. Then you're finding the rhythm. Once you find the rhythm, you deepen that breath. This can be all you need. You take a couple breaths to tune into the chakra. How can you breathe and feel at the same time? And then, what do you need to share? What do you need to express? If you can't feel your throat chakra while you think about something you want to write, something you want to sing, something that you want to paint, something you want to dance, if you can't feel your throat chakra, don't do it. Stay focused on your throat chakra and give your throat chakra veto power over what you express. Because what you express will draw to you the other people who will help you bring it to life. And for me, people, that's you. So I'll see you in the sanctuary soon, I hope. This has been a very interesting day. I appreciate spending this time in the darkness with you. Cosmic Man, thank you so much. I love you too. And I love where we're going. So We're going to head over to the sanctuary to do a meditation. Hopefully, my camera works and share. And for those of you who are not part of it, please take a visit over to the wildflowerfire.com website, click on community, and there's a way you can join the sanctuary. And I don't think anyone's used the new button. So I invite you to be the first to use this new button. I want to see if it works. I've tried to make it more seamless. I've been directing people to do this for months, and it wasn't as easy as I wanted it to be. So hopefully we've corrected that this week. And I look forward to making it happen together. I love you guys. I hope love stays deeply with you and your families this week, and I will see you soon.